All right, guys. Well, we are fighting thunderstorms again. Welcome to Eastern Tennessee. And if you guys have been enjoying my videos, make sure that you're liking and subscribing to them. It does help my channel get seen, and it helps you to stay plugged in to what's going on next. And today's video, we're going to talk about the difference between a male and a female cucumber flower. Somebody asked me, well, how can you tell what the difference is? So I figured I would show you that before I give you a quick update on some of the other things that I've already taken into starting processes of in the yard with more flower beds or garden beds. I don't know what you want to call them. But yeah, I've been working in between the rain. So I'm going to show you the difference on a cucumber plant between the male flower and the female flower. So when we squeeze through here, and I made myself a nice little walkway. Here, I'll show you real quick. I had the neighbor up the hill give me some stepping stones. So some of them are broken, but it does the job and keeps me from having to walk in the dirt when it's all muddy. And you can tell it is still very wet. Over there it's a bit drier, but yeah, we've had so much rain that these stepping stones have really come in handy so that I'm not stepping in the mud. So as we go down the little stepping stones here, we have a flower. You can see this is my cucumber plant, and when you zoom in to the flower, you can see that the bottom of it is just a flower and a stem. There's no bulbousness there. That is a male flower. Now, just like this one down here, that's a male flower. The female flowers, on the other hand, let me go over here to where I can show you. This one has already been pollinated, as you can see, and it's starting to grow a cucumber. But here's a good example right here. There's a female one. It'll have this little bitty cucumber-like nub on it. That's how you know it's a female flower, is it'll have a nub instead of just a stem. Like I said, this one has already been pollinated, and the flower has withered off right there. And there's our new beginnings to a cucumber. And that's how they all are. You can see this one over here, if it'll focus. There you go. See how that one is a female because it's got the cucumber part on the bottom? And that is how you can tell if it's male or female. Cucumbers usually put off as these are Space 80s, Super Space 80s or something, which is a kind of sort of bushing cucumber, but they also do trellis. And I've been coming out here every day in between the rain, and you see this little, hang on, here, this little guy here, they have tendrils, and so every day I come out here and I just tuck these tendrils carefully around the trellis a hair, and that way it pulls up and gives it space down below. With all of the rain we've been having, we don't need them to get powdery mildew. And sometimes I'll even tuck the leaves through here so it pulls it up and away so that they separate the two plants here, because there's two of them there. So we kind of keep them separate a little bit so that they have plenty of room to breathe and be on their own, but grow big and tall and give us lots of cucumbers. So you can see I've been trellising them over there, and this one, and now I just tangled this one onto the trellis. So they'll get big and strong and give me lots of Super 80 or Space 80 cucumbers. And they are a pickling cucumber, but they're the ones that my dogs enjoy the most. So I've grown a couple different kinds. The girls don't seem to like too many of them, but they love the Space 80s. So that's why we have so many cucumber plants this year, because they're actually, half of them are designated for the dogs. So that's that. Now you guys have seen the cucumber and pumpkin box, and I've been modifying it, and of course we've been moving plants everywhere right now. I pulled the board out a bit because now I'm cleaning this out, and I'm going to put all the buckets on the plastic over here. I was going to build a box and dig a hole and have it all drain into a 5-gallon bucket. That's not going to work at this point in time because I'm having too much trouble getting in and out of the yard with all this rain. But you can see right there, kind of, sort of, if you look at it from this angle, you can see where the ground dips down. And it's obvious here. Right here is our dip. It dips down a bit. And so instead of putting the plastic down and then just sticking the pots over here, I've got some soil that I still have left over from the pumpkin and cucumber box. So I'm going to bring some of that over here and level that out. Maybe you can see it better this way. Yeah, now you can see it, that dip there. So instead of leaving it, because if I stick a pot there and it rains again, then there's going to be a pot that's sitting in that puddle of water. We don't want that. We want them to all be on level ground so that none of them are sitting in water, because then they're going to get root bound or root rot. Not root bound, root rot. So I've got to level this out a hair before I go ahead and put the pots there. But what I've been doing, I cleaned all this out, pulled the plastic, realized we had a couple of dips, so I'm going to level that out with a bit of dirt, and then I'll lay the plastic on it, and then I'll shuffle all of these wonderful plants over here, and then I'll start working on the drip irrigation so that the water from the rain barrel here will come. I'll have a different hose there, and it'll come out there and run across the path, and then we'll have drip emitters to go ahead and water all of these guys at the same time. So that will eliminate my hand watering, but it'll also make sure that everybody is getting the appropriate nutrients and water. Because as the plants get bigger and bushier, like these guys, when it rains, then what happens is all these leaves and this bushiness stops the water from getting to the bottom of the bucket, to the bucket part, and watering the actual plant. The leaves are getting wet, but the plant is not getting enough water. So with the water system that I'm going to be putting in, that will help so that everybody gets watered appropriately. Because here, I'll show you down here. We just got rain, but look how dry this soil is. It's really dry. There's nothing sticking to my hands. So they're not getting enough water, and that's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of the leaves are yellowed. Now this one got a bit more water because I did water this one yesterday, and then the storm hit and we had some lightning and thunder, so I went in. And this one is still a little bit dry, but look at how much better those leaves look than this one. Same plant, same seeds out of the same package, but because this one hasn't got the water, it's not doing as well. So that's part of the reason for me doing the drip irrigation, is to make sure that everybody's getting enough water. So, and then of course, while I'm out here, I'm just coming through, and the nasturtiums have bloomed really nicely. So of course, when you see a dud flower, I'm just snapping the heads off. It's called deadheading, and what that does is it tells the plant to push off more flowers and create more seeds. So as you deadhead, then it puts off more flowers, which is going to bring in more of the pollinators. And it also looks really pretty. But yeah, see, there's one that's getting ready to bloom because I'm deadheading them. Same way with the marigolds. While I'm out here every day, I just take these dead flowers, pop them off, and it pushes out. Look how full this marigold is. Oh, sorry, you're looking at the ground. It's just so full. Same way with this one. This one's getting full, but there's a deadhead. So we snap the deadhead off, and it's going to create more flowers. And like I said, yeah, these guys are getting a little bit droopy, and I got some sort of pest that, oh, I know what this one is. This is the one that the earwigs keep eating on. So I have to come out here and check in between all of their leaves and knock down the earwigs, because the earwigs try and they get in between these leaves and hide, and then they're eating up all of the foliage. But it's so full, all the foliage is so full that of course it's not getting a lot of water into the bucket. And that is the reason for the drip irrigation. So that's what's going on so far, is just coming out, checking on everything. I wanted to go ahead and do a video and explain the difference between the male and female cucumber flowers, so now you know what to look for, and that helps. So I got a bit of work to do before that storm rolls in. I'm sure you can probably see those nasty clouds up there. So it says we got about an hour before the rain comes. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this video and try and get some dirt over there and level that so I can put the plastic down and get some things done before it rains again. So I hope this was interesting and useful for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, you are someone, you do matter. I love you. And we will see you on the next video, because we have lots of things to start harvesting. So we'll see you on the next video. Until then, ciao.